What's the biggest need of your district in District 8 that you would be able to take the fight to Washington for, or try to get for your district?
Well, there are two things. One, I'm concerned about our Lumbee friends. The Lumbee Fairness Act must be passed. It's been sitting around there. Lumbees have not been recognized like other tribes.
That was a question that I was going to ask you, because the Lumbee tribe actually asked me to ask you that.
I beat you to the punch, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
All right, you guys down there. I beat my man Brett Jensen to the punch, but I'm going to push that like a madman, because I cannot take injustice. When I fought to try to get Clint Lawrence out of a federal of U.S. military penitentiary in Leavenworth, I can't stand the injustice of seeing a young officer being prosecuted for political reasons. The same thing when we were able to open up an investigation to the Armed Services Committee with Extortion 17. You probably don't know about that. I was working with the late Walter Jones. Mac Thornbury, the former chair of the Armed Services Committee, actually opened an inquiry with the Pentagon. What's happened to the Lumbees is an injustice. I'm going to fight it. I'm going to fight it with the same type of passion I've taken to a number of these other issues that I've been involved with. Second thing, the regulatory state is the problem. So, whether it's the IRS, whether it's the EPA or whatever, unelected bureaucrats are a threat to the 8th District and to every district. 8th District is largely agriculture. Part of the problem with our farmers down there is that there is with farmers over the nation, we have a small conglomerate of big companies like Monsanto and Tyson and others that are destroying the family farm. And I believe in the Sherman Antitrust Act. Let me tell you that right now. I saw you on your cell phone earlier, Brett. I've got one. You're a young fellow, so you don't remember 20 years ago when you made. Wow, you're now as old as me, man.
I want to know what your definition of young is.
Brett, you're a young whippersnapper. I'm maybe exaggerating.
I was born in the 60s. Let's just keep that. Let's keep that in there.
So you remember when we were in school how expensive long distance was. You call home. My daddy would give me a hard time for running the $100 bill. But just recently, when Ma Bell got busted up, my son serves in the military in another part of the world. He's on standby right now to go to the Middle East, and I hope and pray it doesn't happen. But I can talk to him for nothing because of antitrust. We need to take the antitrust weapon to bust up these large conglomerates so that our farmers in Union County and elsewhere can have a chance at competing again. Because competition breeds improved services, better cost, the whole thing. And here's the deal. Big is bad. Power absolutes corruptly, and absolute power corrupts. That is true whether it is in government or in the corporate world. And we've seen, as an example, with this whole COVID vaccination junk going on, we've seen these huge mega corporations doing the bidding of a socialist government. Mussolini himself said that corporatism is the cornerstone of fascism. They're able to do that because these corporations are so big, whether it's Bank of America or anybody else, that mom and pop stores, mom and pop farms, which built this great economic engine of this nation, have not had a chance to compete. And I'm going to do everything I can so that our small businesses and our farmers can compete again, whether in Union County or all across the nation. My granddaddy was a farmer. I grew up working on a farm. My granddaddy was a tobacco farmer. That might not be politically correct to say that, but I grew up working in tobacco and slopping hogs. So, I'm kind of a country lawyer myself and really have a heart for those who work the land. And I'm going to bring that heart with a passion and with a lot of fight to the United States Congress if given the opportunity.
When we return, we will finish up our interview with Don Brown. He's running for District 8 congressional seat, and which is a vast majority, or a vast slice, I should say, of our listening audience. So when we return, our conversation with Don Brown continues. I'm Brett Jensen, and you're listening to Breaking with Brett Jensen.